This week's reporting of the year-long space holder training is about memetic structure. Individual, personal, human memetic structure, and also memetic infrastructure that's more about game world and systems. But this week, more specifically about memetic structure of individuals, what we've been researching is, what is this memetic structure? And so in a post-call conversation yesterday with Vera Franco and Daniele Barros, how I picture a memetic structure is, like, you have a being that wears your 5 body like a glove. And so your being is a becoming being expressed through the information and how the energy from your 5 body, intellectual, physical, emotional, energetic, and your archetypal body. But the thing that gives shape to the glove, like the 5 body that you're wearing as a glove from your being, that would be your memetic structure. And so therefore, the way your being is expressed in the world starts at the level of how your memetic structure is shaped. And the shape of it then creates certain conclusions or certain ability to have access to possibilities or skills or noticing or impulses or energy. I like this image. I remember traveling with Clinton in Greece, and we would notice all these sculpture of gods. And I remember Clinton saying, they were sculpting gods because when you get the form of the god, then you can get the function of the god, which is really the archetypal. And in this case, it was god and goddesses. So it's this idea of function follows form. So our form as human beings is shaped by this memetic structure. What are the memes that we're using? What are the thoughtware that we've implemented in our structure that creates a certain results of how we engage with ourselves and the world and other people? Also our future, our past, how we engage really adult with life. So for me, it seems so clear that the working at the level of memetic structure is where, as cultural creatives and human transformers, we have the most leverage. So what we were working on in the year-long space holder training was first to be able to detect the memetic structure that is revealed by the expression of the being, but the expression of the being, let's say, is the superficial or the last information that is being, or the first information, let's say, that's being given to the world, and behind it are mechanisms that have for a cause, like the source is the memetic structure. So we're working on both detecting visible, like what is being revealed, visible memetic structures, but also memetic structures that are revealed by what is not being said. So working also with the invisible, which is partly the work of a cultural transformer or cultural creative, because a new culture is invisible. It is only a potential. So the skill of seeing the invisible is a skill necessary for a memetic engineer, a cultural creative. And so we were really working, at this point, we were more working on the level of, like I said, individual, but it's also possible to scan for the memetic infrastructure that is being used by systems, by all sorts of game world. And not only, the next steps then is not only to witness and to be able to scan, but also to be able to invent new memetic infrastructure, both for individual and for groups, that creates the new results that may not be even in the realm of possible. So it's about creating new memetic structure to liberate the potential of human beings that we don't even know what that potential is. So this is the kind of stuff that we're researching, and the other part of the year-long space holder training that's happening right now is Vera and I have opened this door for everybody to have a radical reality project. It's called a radical reality project that needs to be completed in 6 months. So that it's not a fantasy world of I will do this later, or I can keep thinking about only thinking about what I want instead of creating what I want. So a radical reality project is a way to test the mettle of your skills as a space holder. So in this particular radical reality project, it's a project that you've never done before. So the space holders have never done before. And it's also a project that is about upgrading firmware. But as well as that it's turned towards the world. So it's not a project, it's not something to offer to other possibilitators or other people in possibility management. This is about moving towards the world with whatever spaceholder skills the spaceholders have, and using that project as a real feedback from the world, and also a place to hone and to enter excellence of space holding for transformation, but also holding space, like spaceholder skill for teams, and also for game world and project. And that we go back to the ability to invent and apply memetic infrastructures in which a team can thrive and in which transformation can thrive. And not only for people who are interested in developing, let's say, transformational skills, but for really anybody in your village, in your communities, in your region, even in your countries. So when those projects start emerging, I will share them also here in the report, and maybe more have a special article or video about these different projects that you might want to support, participate as a team, because the team will be open to people who are more than the participant of the year-long spaceholder training, but also like you might see that it's impacting your region and want to invite people to join that project. That's it for week 4, and see you next week.